Welcome back to Creepy Kitty Creations for the first video of the year. Sorry it's so late. Let's just say some things happened earlier in the year and I'm still trying to catch up. So I wanted to break into this year's crafts by doing something a little bit simpler, a bit more whimsical. But first I had to totally tidy up my craft room, so you'll probably notice that things are looking a little bit different here now. It's nice because I've got all my other dolls on display, which I haven't been able to do until now, so I'm really happy with it. I have a lot more space and all the things I'm currently working on is right at my fingertips, which is much more convenient than it was. It was kind of a dumpster fire. As proof of that and for your entertainment, my dog Gracie helping us tidy up. She wants to get to her window. It's too cramped for you, little bug.
Beep beep, beep beep, beep beep.
Come on, Gracie. Come on. Good girl, come on. I'll close that for you there. There you go. So with our little Papa Fluffer's help, it now looks like this. I hope you like it. So today we're going to be making a congratulatory gift for one of my best friends who's also a writer, who just had a short story published in an anthology, Nephilim. I've included a book trailer for those of you who are interested and would like to know more what this book's about. Trailer begin! From the mystical depths of ancient forests to the soaring heights of dragon-filled skies. These tales will transport you to worlds where heroes rise, kingdoms clash, and the extraordinary become ordinary. Whether you seek epic adventures, tales of mystical creatures, or stories of unlikely heroes, this anthology has it all. And there we go. To get your copy now, please find the link in the description box below. And now let's get started on this fun, whimsical gift for our writer friend. Let's begin. So I actually started this before the craft room was cleaned, so sorry for the footage being in random places. This is in my living room. So to start making our terrarium, I'm going to put PVA glue in the bottom and just swish it around until it's all covered. For those of you already familiar with the channel, you know that I use dried tea leaves as dirt. So we're just going to take this already prepared dried tea leaves in various thicknesses and just put some of that in on the glue, making sure to add a bit more glue, spread it all around. This is all just a new thing for me, so I was just really experimenting to see what was going to look best and get the most sort of earthy look. So I try a few layers of PVA glue just to really get it in there. So because my writer friend Emily Sharp is a Wiccan, I really wanted to give her a nice, cute, whimsical gift that fits with the pagan beliefs of nature. So I thought a wee little terrarium toadstool would be perfect. So for the toadstools that are going inside the bottle, I'm using glow-in-the-dark hot glue and just making blobs for the toadstool caps and these little long blobs for the actual base of the toadstools. But as you can see, they're quite flat on one side, so I'm picking them up individually and adding some more glue on the other side just to make them look a bit more round. This is also a bit of a teaser for a future doll coming up, hopefully quite soon, as I've been wanting to use this techniques for that doll's stand. So this is a really fun and exciting way to try out those techniques like the hot glue toadstools. I'm using the nib of the hot glue gun now to make the wee little textures at the bottom of the mushroom cap, and I'm really happy with how well all of this turned out. So it was a really fun project, worthwhile, and I hope my friend really likes it. She's been really getting into sewing lately, and I don't think she's got a pincushion, so I was really keen to get this done for her so that she can finally have some pins and a pincushion as well as something cute for her collection. I made some of the bases with another wee base, that long puddle at the bottom, so that hopefully it will be easier to attach and hide under the dirt and give a little bit more stability to the toadstool. And then we just need to glue the stalks on with some more hot glue, wait till it cools down so that they don't go all wonky, and just add a little bits of glue to make it a bit more stable. And we have a little hot glue toadstool. Whoops. And a small skinny one. Various sizes I thought would look really cute, so now I'm just going to attach that to the base as well so they can be a little family pair of mushrooms. And that's the first group done. I hope you enjoy these more crafty, non-doll related videos, because there's a few other projects that I'd really like to do. I have to finish the mummy phone case, and I've got a few other really neat projects planned, including some corsetry, so more of the sewing type things, so I hope you enjoy them. Now that our mushrooms are done, we can add them into the terrarium. So I'm just placing them lightly at first, which was actually really tricky, and I'm just tapping some of the glue on top and trying to get that soil to go over top of the base of the mushrooms, which was also a bit harder than I had anticipated because the bottle is very long and skinny and it makes it quite hard to reach. Yeah. But I got there in the end. Now, ideally you should have waited for the glue to dry, but I was really eager to see how this is going to look with some of the greenery in here, so I just fired ahead. So if you do try this at home, don't be like me, wait for the glue to dry. Because this actually, when it's all finished, it took about 2 weeks for all the glue to dry, which is not ideal. Add some of these bushes just for some extra greenery, and they really do look like bushes. This is the first time I've used these, but I'm definitely going to be using them again for some doll stands because it just looks so plush like moss. Now we can add some flowers. This is always the most fun part. I love adding flowers to things. It's my favourite part about making any form of doll stand. So we're just adding a few of these. These are like a hard plastic. I'm not sure what type of plant they're supposed to be, but I almost think they look a little like Willy Wonka-ish and really cute. And we'll add in some of these fake flowers like I used for the dough doll and in my mantis doll's headdress. Even with tweezers, this was really hard. When it comes to foliage and cute little flowers, I firmly believe more is more. Want to make this as magical and fairy core as possible, so yeah, adding a lot of flowers. Sorry for the blurry footage, it was kind of hard to film. So this is how our terrarium's looking, isn't it cute? So now we need to make the mushroom top, so I usually sew at the couch. So I'm just doing a gather stitch around the circumference of this circle of red fabric to make a puffy toadstool top that we can then stuff with stuffing to make a pincushion. This looks about the right size. I had tried to make it a little bit bigger, but it ended up a bit smaller, which turned out to be a better size. So we're just going to stuff this with stuffing and pull the thread to try and tighten that gather to hold the fluff in. Looking good. And just keep pulling that tighter and tighter until it like pincushions need more stuffing than you think. So once you think you've stuffed it enough, just add a little bit more. The base was a little bit too big. And that looks good. And mushroom bases are white, so I'm just going to cover the cardboard. The cardboard is for stability, and this fabric, if I try and pleat around it, it should look really neat and like the base of a toadstool. Now I'm just adding wee pins and whip stitches to keep the fabric pleated. I'm just doing this straight through. We're not going to see it on the other side. I had hoped to get all of the footage of me whip stitching it to the toadstool top, but sadly I didn't notice that my phone had died and it didn't record any of it, so I'm sorry about that. So I whip stitched using white thread to attach the white cardboard to the red toadstool. As you can see, the terrarium is still drying, so while I wait for that, let's paint on some white spots. Found some perfect white pins that will go perfectly with it, but they aren't quite big enough, so we want some proper toadstool spots. So I'm just going to do that with fabric paint. So once I finished painting all the white spots, I did 2 layers. I wasn't quite happy with them, they didn't look quite toadstooly enough for me. So I'm just going on with some thick blobs of fabric paint like this to give it a bit more of that texture, because if you look at toadstools, or if you see the tutorial from of Crafts and Curios's channel where she makes polymer clay toadstools, she makes the white on them almost 3D by using a pin, and that's exactly what they look like. And I couldn't really do that on fabric, but I thought I'd give this a try, and I'm really happy with the similar effect it got. Much better. I'm so happy with how that turned out. It's looking so cute. Now, to add on a little bit of something extra, I'm going to gather this lace to attach to the base of the toadstool and the cork. So we're just going to pleat that a little bit, and that should just give that nice ruffle that you can sometimes see on particular varieties of toadstools, and it will make the transition between toadstool and glass bottle a bit cuter, I think. So I'm just going to use a stapler for this because it's nice soft cork, and we're just going to be gluing the toadstool over it anyway, so we're not going to see that. My main goal was for it to be secure. So I'm just stitching the top of it to be doubly sure that they're all stitched together. Looking good. Oh, that's going to be so cute when it's finished. Now for a slightly thinner lace. Same variety, sort of an embroidery anglaise, and we're going to pleat that, or actually I think I'm going to gather it. I think gathering will make it fuller and a bit more ruffly. Yeah, that'll be cute. So just fold the end over so that you get a nice neat edge. Make sure you have a knot at the end of your thread. Go through. I like to do an extra loop just to make sure that's extra secure and extra tight. And then you start doing your gather stitches, going in and out and in and out. And occasionally just pull that needle back through, and then just keep gather stitching until you get the correct length and volume you're after. You're finished, fold the finished end over again so that it's nice and neat, and tie your knot. Now this will be far too thick to staple, and I think glue will just make it go all hard and crusty. So I'm taking these thin metal needles and just stabbing them through the fabric into the cork directly, and this should hold them in place really well and truly securely, especially once we put glue over top of it to attach the toadstool. So I'm just poking these in lightly at first, and then we're going to hammer them in a bit with, well, probably not the most ideal tool, but with my sewing scissors, so that they stick right into the cork, like this. Again, probably not so ideal, but it did spare my poor fingies from the stabbing of the needles. Perfect. It looks so cute. But if you look inside, you can actually see the end of the needles, which is not ideal. So I'm just going to go get my wire cutters and we're going to cut off the ends of those pins. Just face it away from you so that these can actually break off and go flying, and the last thing you want is to get one of these in your eye. So face it away from you and make sure to pop them in a secure bin if you've got any pets. And now that's all done. You can pop that back in and glue the toadstool on with some of my trusty dusty fabric glue. MVP award that one gets. The best glue. I use it for all my wig caps, sewing, everything. It's brilliant. So I'm giving it a very generous blob on the top. Position the toadstool where you'd like it. I think this way's a bit better. And squish it down. And I can't squish it down for the whole time, it's going to need to dry, so I'm going to use some hair ties with a little trouble, but got there in the end. And after 2 days, it's secure, dry, and 100% attached. So now we can add all these little white pins. And there we have it, an adorable toadstool pincushion. I'm so happy with how it came out, but let's test the glow in the dark. Charge it up with the UV lamp and see how it glows. Oh gosh, I hope it works. It worked! Oh, brilliant, I'm so happy. She can put it in her windowsill and it can absorb all that good sunlight. I'm so happy with how it came out, and I'm so excited to give it to her. Thank you for watching and all of your support. I know the video was late, but all of your patience and support really does make all the difference, so thank you. And if you are an avid reader and you like the sounds of Nephilim, please go to the description box below and pick up your own copy. It will be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you next time. Bye!